Video probably 2 years ago that's since been deleted of Ryan Braun when he first got caught taking steroids. I made a video on how I thought MLB should handle this and how I was completely devastated that Ryan Braun took steroids and they hadn't convicted him yet of anything. Since that time, Ryan Braun ended up getting out of all that stuff on that technicality that the guy handled his urine sample wrong, and he ended up getting that 50-game suspension revoked. He ended up playing the last couple years. Well, now Ryan Braun has since been suspended once again. He's going to miss the entire season, the rest of this season, which is 65 games. I think it's 63 now because he's already missed 2, without pay. But this is not even close to what should happen to Ryan Braun. I am truly pissed off. I defended Ryan Braun. I truly thought that, he did not take anything. He came out adamantly denying the fact that he took any kind of steroids, any kind of PEDs, whatever. And he came out, and him and his lawyers went and attacked the MLB, tried to make Major League Baseball look as stupid as possible, saying the system didn't work and he was innocent, and that this man who the urine sample collector was the one and is the reason why that his sample came back with some high amounts of chemical in it that for testosterone. He went and tried to make the MLB look stupid while doing it with a smile on his face, while knowing he was lying the entire time. Now, this is what pisses me off about it. He cost that guy who was a urine collector his job, his livelihood, while Braun sat there, did it with a smile, and lied to everyone's faces. And he denied it. And now when he gets caught again and baseball lays the hammer down on him, then he comes out, no appeal, no nothing, no denial. I gotta take action, or I gotta take the consequences for my action. So now you are not denying it that you did anything, and now you're just going to take the suspension and not try to fight it? What was different this time? They lied about what his association was with Tony Bosch, and he's done nothing but been a fraud the entire 2 years. I'm pissed at Ryan Braun right now. It's bullshit. Not only did he try to make baseball look stupid, he sat there and screwed that guy out of a job, tried to make the whole system look stupid, while doing it with a smile and being a cocksure, egotistical prick douchebag, and lied to his fan base, lied to his teammates, lied to his manager, lied to his GM, and he disappointed everyone that's ever supported the Milwaukee Brewers franchise. This team went and decided not to sign Prince Fielder, a guy who's never been linked to anything but besides maybe overeating in his life, never took any kind of steroids, and elected to take Ryan Braun because they thought he'd be his face of the franchise for the future. Now whatever this guy does from here on out is completely fucking tainted. I'm not one to go, and I've had this argument a million times, I don't think I could take steroids for a year, and I could not be as good as Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun does have the natural talent, but he sat and lied about it and did it with a smile on his face and lied to every single one in that Brewers organization and cheated his fans. And how he has done everything pisses me off. So I think this 65 games BS is bullshit. He should not get 65 games. As far as I'm concerned, he already got caught once, got off on a technicality. That's your first one. That's your 50 games. Baseball, you get 50 games, 100 games, a year, and I forget what the fourth offense is. I think it's a lifetime ban. As far as I'm concerned, he should miss all of this season and all of next season. That's what should happen to Ryan Braun, because 65 games is nothing. It's not like the Brewers are sitting at 20 games over 500 in the dead heat of a pennant chase and trying to clinch NL Central. They're awful. They suck. It don't matter. They lose Ryan Braun. He makes no effect on that team. He's been gone a good chunk of the year. He's been on the DL. He needs to miss all of next year, which brings me to my point of what baseball needs to do. I said this 2 years ago. This 50-game, 100-game lifetime ban, I think it was, for your third offense, just does not work. Your first offense, you should be suspended for a year. No doubt about it. I don't care if it's only your first time. You keep going as light as you are on people to get suspended. It's not going to work. Melky Cabrera gets suspended. He gets caught. What happens? He comes out of his suspension, signs a contract with the Blue Jays that was worth more than he was making with the Giants, just simply because of what he did while he was on steroids. So now what is that doing? You're going, all right, MLB players, you can cheat the system. Take steroids for a year. You're a guy, you're going to boost your numbers a little bit? Go ahead. Do it. Take steroids for a year or so. Boost your numbers up. Get that big contract. And then get caught. What's the matter? You're going to get paid anyways. That's not what happened to Melky. He gets caught and he gets rewarded practically because he gets that contract from the Blue Jays. He's making more money now because of what kind of season he put up the year before with the Giants. You know, you need to suspend these guys right off the bat for 1 year. And then the second time's a lifetime ban. But what sucks is the players' union has to approve this kind of punishment, and the players have to agree on it. And that's the one thing about the players' union. They're going to make it hell to try to approve something like this. But this 50-game stuff, and then 100 games, your second offense, come on. This is just too light. And guys, no matter what the punishment is, you're always going to get the few meatheads that want to sit there and try to beat the system to get at a competitive advantage over everyone else. That's just going to happen. No sport is ever going to be 100% clean. But this easy 100-game, 50 first offense, 100-game, second offense is just way too light, and you're not going to deter many guys. You suspend them for a whole season without pay, and then float the possibility of a lifetime banishment above their heads if they get caught the second time. You watch how far steroids in baseball goes down, because then you are really laying the foot down. You are leaving no room for any kind of bit of someone to go, all right, I get caught once, like Melky Cabrera. I'm going to get just suspended 50 games, fine, whatever, come back. 50 games isn't even half a season, It's just over a quarter. You suspend them an entire year, then leave a possible lifetime banishment over their heads. It's going to send a message like, hey, I'm risking jeopardizing my entire career. And I was agreeing with this guy on MLB radio I was listening to. If you get caught for steroids and you're becoming a free agent after that year like Melky Cabrera, there should be a cap of what a player can possibly make. Because what Melky did, he got that contract because of what he did with the Giants, and he's making more money after being suspended. He's practically getting rewarded for doing what he did. That's BS. You should not be allowed to make more money than you were making on your previous deal if you were a free agent after you get caught taking steroids. That's BS. And for A-Rod, I hope he does get banned from baseball, because frankly, that's the best thing to happen to that guy. He thinks he's another one that thinks he's going to come back and play this huge role on a Yankees team, but let's face it, he's washed up. He's old. His hips are junk. And yeah, I think he knows he's screwed. And it'd be the best thing to happen because he's cheated the system as well. And you need to show these players that you are not screwing around anymore as the thing of baseball when it comes to PEDs and trying to cheat the system. Because you keep it like this, you're going to get assholes like Ryan Braun who went and made you look stupid. He took steroids. He beat the system on a technicality. Made Bud Selig look dumb as hell. Made the system look stupid. That this guy can blatantly cheat, smile about it, and lie about it, cheat an entire fan base, and get off on it, and play, and now finally get caught. After another year and a half, 2 years, after he gets initially caught, and now the system finally works for him. You can't let this happen ever again. You got to put the foot down, and this has got to come to an end. And this is a lot of it has to do with Major League Baseball's fault in the mid-'90s having one of the loosest drug programs there was until the early 2000s when the government stepped in and said, hey, you got to straighten up your drug policy program. Because MLB's baseball, their drug policy was an absolute joke. There was absolutely no rules against what these guys are doing. It was pretty much, I'm reading this book called The Yankee Years by Tom Verducci and Joe Torre. It was pretty much don't ask, don't tell, don't care in the clubhouse. There was no one bringing it up. And the people that were bringing it up, they weren't getting listened to by the players' union because the players' union didn't care, and Bud Selig was turning a blind eye to it. And he's going to sit here and say he didn't know what's going on, which is a hunk load of shit. Because you got guys like McGuire, who became, I think he was the first player ever to have 350 home run seasons ever in a row, while Sammy Sosa's blasting out 60 more than anyone ever in history. And then you got Bonds juicing up. He turned a blind eye to it, and ever since then, he opened up the floodgates for steroids even more than it actually already was in the late 80s and early 90s. And baseball is still never fully recovered yet from how much blatant disregard they gave for the PEDs and letting players use them. And I think right now, like I said, you cannot let this little of a punishment go on anymore. You have to put the foot down. You have to make a deterrent. You suspend them for a year without pay for first offense, and then you waive a lifetime banishment over their head. And watch, when the first couple people finally get their lifetime banishment, watch how steroids go down. You cannot let shit like this happen anymore. Because Ryan Braun made you look stupid, baseball. He made you look stupid. He smiled at your face while taking the drugs, while getting away with it, while playing. He had his suspension revoked. It made you look stupid, and you finally got it to him. If that doesn't show you that you people can't still cheat the system and still take steroids in this game, what will? Lay down the law, start making these punishments thicker and harsher, and then watch what happens. Because frankly, fuck Ryan Braun. I will never ever support him again. He's the biggest piece of shit. Cost that man his job who did nothing wrong in Milwaukee. Cost him his livelihood and a way to support his family. And made him look like he was the bad guy when it was Braun who was the piece of shit that was doing everything wrong and making it trying to seem like he was innocent. Fuck him. That's all I gotta say. Fuck you, Ryan Braun. And baseball needs to step up its policies.